knows its exact location. My father, Xavier, was the last of these. He knew dark forces were gathering, but I was too young to learn the secret. So he commissioned La Malédiction, embedding clues to the location of the tabula within the painting.
But what is the tabula? What does it do?
I do not know. I know only that in the wrong hands it would be catastrophic for mankind.
So Eva is your daughter?
She was a gift from God, late in my life. One day she will find room for Gnosticism in her heart. I am sure of it.
What happened back in Paris? We thought you were dead.
A man came to the apartment looking for Miss Collard. He mentioned a stolen painting owned by a Russian. Obviously, I informed him that I was the true owner.
Obviously.
Next thing I knew, this thug had me pinned to a chair and was threatening to shoot me. So I told him of the Castel, and while he telephoned his boss, I hit him with the little China dog.
Guess he didn't know you were the pugnacious type. So, you're the good guys?
Good and evil are meaningless terms. We strive simply to maintain balance and keep the tabula from those who seek to exploit it for their own ends.
So this is you with your mother and father?
Indeed, taken in this very building many years ago.
I think this is yours.
My medallion? Where did you find it?
It was left in Nico's neighbor's apartment. Do you want it back?
No, you keep it for now. It has a meaning, a purpose. Perhaps you can find out what.
Sure. Just let me know if you ever want it back. Is this one of Nico's photographs of the robbery?
Yes, she gave it to me.
And did you write these notes on it?
Yes, I was trying to solve part of the painting.
Solve?
I never knew what lay in that portion of La Malédiction. The photograph you have of my family, this part of the painting was missing. But once I saw the Tower of Saints, I knew I had to come here. Just as you did, Senor.
I was sure.
We must find the answer.
Senor, a word, please?
Of course.
Okay, so...
Just not with me.
Ramon sure was a little light in the charm department. The stone fireplace was old and dusty. It looked like it had lain undisturbed for decades. I only had a few matches. Using one now probably wasn't a good idea. There was no fuel to light, just dust and a... Marquez said that the painting contained clues only a Gnostic could solve. But when it was back in this room, all would become clear. The plinths looked like they could be rotated. That would be... The painting. The Tower of Saints had led us to the Castel. I wondered where the other clues would take us. Inside the ring was a castle gate. I had no idea what it signified. Within the ring, there were a number of houses. It was a village or a small town. A large Ouroboros dominated the center of the painting. Before he was killed, Simeon had said that the tree inside the Ouroboros represented hidden Gnostic knowledge. And here it was, a whole new image inside the snake. Hobbes had uncovered it, but now he was dead. A symbol was cut into the man's forehead. Simeon had claimed that it was the sign of the Tabula Veritatis. Inside the ring was what looked like an affluent town. The figure of the young man was just like the one on the front of the fireplace. It couldn't be a coincidence. The youthful figure held a glowing blue orb in his hand. The bearded figure was similar to the one on the fireplace in the hall. I wondered if there was a connection. The orb in the old man's hand glowed with a green light. The priest appeared to have a padlock through his mouth. He was pointing down to the ring below him. There was a tower within the ring. Maybe it indicated a place? It was the figure of a priest, but with a dog's head. The figure was pointing up at a ring above him. Inside the ring, it was a castle of saints, Castel de Saints, in Catalonian. It was a tower of tormented souls. They looked like the damned. The plinths looked like the bookcase held an assortment of ancient books. It was a collection of what could only be described as stuff. There was a piece of stone on the ground. It looked like a discarded statue. The bookcase held an assortment of ancient books. There was a crate of brandy among. There were spent bullet casings lying amongst the rubble. What exactly happened here? There were spent bullet casings. The green stone figure was barefoot. It resembled the statues in Marquette. Nope. The door was locked. It looked like this part of the castell had taken some damage. The end of the passage was blocked off with rubble. The green stone figure was... It was the lower half. Like the other one, this looked a lot like this. That was... It looked like this part of the castell. The door was... That was... La Maledizione. But... If I looked hard enough, I'd... The carved figure resembled the young man in the painting. It also matched the pose of the figures in Simeon's picture. The carved figure was like the bearded man in the painting. It also reminded me of the figures from the... The carved figure resembled the... I'd put some statues above the fireplace, but it was hard to tell if they were the same ones as in... The green stone figure... If I looked hard enough, I'd...
So, until you came here, you knew nothing about the castle?
Didn't know, wasn't interested. I better get back on guard in case anyone else shows up.
Your father needs our help, Eva.
My father needs rest, peace.